you can make the best adaptations in the world, but if you're not like if your team's not winning gunfights and like people can't think for themselves, like you're just not gonna win those rounds.
Here I am with Packer of Karns&co esports. Uh, Packer, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a dub yesterday, so
Yeah, I can't
or
complain about that. Two
day
days.
before
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
time's hard. I do want to start off with the most important question of this entire interview, which is what kind of $1 million salary are you on in Karn's organization? We all know Karn's basketball is just a trillionaire.
Yeah. As long as I stream 15 hours a week, I get paid $2 billion.
Whew. Dude,
No, I don't.
he's getting you on a discount right there.
I just get a what's it called? Whatever like my portion of the prize pool, but it's
Yeah.
I've had fun playing with Karn.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's a solid team, and you guys are probably one of those teams that we expect to see in playoffs.
Hmm.
Speaking about Element One and your performance, you've already come off with a win against, oh geez, Chunner Esports, and that was a strong game because Chunner is viewed as like one of these threats, but not necessarily one that's going to make it
Hmm.
to playoffs, right? So how do you think that
Yeah.
game went? Like obviously, but a bit of an overlap with broadcast interview. But if you want to go in
Mm.
more depth or talk more shit, feel free.
We could have played better. Honestly, we were pretty indecisive on some of our attacks. Recently we've been having a struggle on like either the first or second round on attack, even in scrims where we're pretty indecisive. So we'll have a good split on defense, and then like the moment we get on attack, we either lose like the first or second round immediately, and it's just because we're being indecisive. And then once we start figuring out how they're playing, then we adapt, and it usually picks up from there. But we just gotta get better at that because that should not be happening either way. Like we should be
Yeah,
able to make the adaptations on the fly, like in the actual game.
yeah.
Um,
Oop. You
oh
want to
sorry.
keep going?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so I actually in that game also wasn't playing the best I could have. Like it was either I was getting stuff going or I was just getting smoked. So it's like it's either I got like 2 kills and like did something, or I just get like do nothing. Like I was
Yeah.
just useless.
I mean, there's always games like that, so can't complain too much as long as the team gets the dub. I do want to
Mm,
ask about like that kind of reading into the game stuff.
mm,
A big narrative, a big talking point around Karn as an IGL has been like he's not seen as one of these top IGLs like a Mr. B or a Poison or like maybe a JJ is more like dedicated towards the role or whatever. But
yeah.
you guys have made some really deep runs recently, and it sounds like you're doing a lot more of that mid round adapting and like trying to
Mm.
fix your issues. Has Karn been like evolving as a leader to kind of kickstart this, or is it just kind of there was some genius there that wasn't getting shown in earlier Challenger League stages or something?
I believe that like a bunch of other like Karns teams like weren't that good skill wise compared to the other teams, so he
Okay.
couldn't really like show it off. Also, and like you can make the best adaptations in the world, but if you're not like if your team's not winning gunfights and like people can't think for themselves, like you're just not gonna win those rounds. But I will say with this team, we have a more clear picture in mind, and we also do make like on the fly decisions, and we've been pretty good. Everyone's been improving recently. Like I've literally have no complaints on this team like as of right now.
Sweet. And you have brought on two relatively new players in Kixhro and Slimy Nick, correct? Because I
Mm,
believe it was Silent and Tristan before that. How has
yeah.
integrating those two players been? Because like Nick has had some impressive performances on like broadcasts. I'm thinking about that 1v3 in Fest Fiesta. I'm thinking about
Mm,
like just really pop off performances. He was doing good against Chunner as well. Like how is
mm.
like, what made those two players like so desirable, and like, how are they slotting in, all things considered?
So I'll do the first point. So we had George on our like, which is Silent Ends for people that don't know his
Yeah,
first name. Um, he wanted when Tristan left, because Tristan left before Silent. Nick was like who Silent wanted. So at that point, Kix was already on a team, and we were like, hey, like Nick is the best player available. Like we watched like because last time I saw him play, he was on the Qualex roster that he didn't
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
perform that well with. So I didn't really think he was like that great in comp. So we gave him a shot, obviously, and then once we gave him the shot, he played like great. We gave him like we just kept trying him out. We didn't even try anyone else out. And we're just like we just want like Nick was the best pickup by far. Um, and then uh we got Kicks because Kicks just got dropped from or not dropped, but it was like the SSG ACAD like formed with another like it was like West Garfield Park with Mohis,
Yeah.
so they got rid of Kicks. So we realized that like since George left for SSG ACAD, we were like the best team available, or the best person available would be Kicks to fill his role. So we just got Kicks because he's also friends with Karn and friends with Nick. So it was just like a perfect like fit for us. Um, but getting them in, like Kicks is playing really well on West Garfield Park with the roles he's playing now on our team. So we just like he was just instantly slotted in for those roles. And then Nick, he's more of like a turret on attack and defense. So you like put him in like a spot where you want him to hold, and then he'll just hold it down. He plays it fantastically, like a cut, like we're actually like like he's enabling us just to like be way more fluent in our attacks and defenses, and he's been helping out a lot recently. I've like seen crazy improvement from Nick.
That's really cool to hear, especially because like he's already shown so much promise in what the tournaments that you have been playing with him.
Hmm.
You is there any like support structure to help Karn with the IGLing? Because that's always one thing I'm kind of curious about. We hear about some of these other teams like Wildcard. Now it's not just the one man band of JJ calling, and now like Riot and Bino, I believe it was, are like kind of
Hmm.
helping out. Is there anything like that on Karn&co? Is there just like really good comms feeding all the information to Karn the supercomputer and he outputs the next play?
I would say Karn we kind of all kind of call the push. Karn kind of leads like the main push,
Okay.
and then based off what like everyone sees, then it's like we'll call out, oh, we should push through top. Oh, we should like hit site. Like it just like it's just like a team-based thing. It's all about the teamwork for us
Okay.
because at the end of the day, like Karn can't see everything, right? Like there's no way like and the way I play is not going to allow like they're not going to be able to play off me if I don't calm what I want the team to do based off what I'm doing. Like stuff like that, like it would just be cause confusion, and that's also like another reason why we've been losing the first like round or two because we're either not on the same page or we're just getting confused with each other. So if we just iron this out, like we'll be straight. Like it'll be great for us.
Yeah, and I do want to talk a little bit about you and your evolution as a player. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of a rough journey before making it to Karn&co. How do you think like you've grown over this time, and like what do you say is the biggest thing that you've improved on as a player since joining this team?
Um, so when I was on RTV, we obviously were like very good,
Yeah.
and it was like my first team in like it's my first time playing Challenger League. Um, So immediately coming out of the gate and just winning, like my ego is obviously high. Like my certain like the way I play, like I just stuck in my own like frame. And then I went to PB and PB, uh, they wanted me to change the way I played, but I was like too stuck in my ways. So I didn't really like adapt, and then it just caused like us to lose, and we just weren't that we were awful. Like we were dog shit. Like as like a team. I still love like everyone on that team. I really don't got like any issues with like most of the people, but like it's just like it was just rough.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like to go from like the highest point of your career to like joining a pro team and like us just being terrible, like it was awful. And then after I was debating even like playing Siege because it was just I didn't even feel like I had like a future playing to be honest. So, once I've joined Karn, I've went back to like a similar playstyle that I did on RTV, but it's way more adaptive. I've tried to like more help with like the main idea of the push instead of just being in my own world because I think the biggest issue with me on PB was I was just in my own world most of the time because I was so in my head.
Okay.
Um, I want my teammates to succeed more than me. Like my role is not for us to like it's for me to take space, but it's not for me to like get all the kills. And that's why I was always worried, like I always did before. So now I'm more worried about like us winning as a team, making the right plays. Like being in the right positions, making sure we're set up for success instead of like me just doing my own thing and then like making the team forcefully play off me because if my play doesn't like if my play works then we win. If my play doesn't work, we lose. So like it just doesn't make sense for me to do that in my role.
Okay, cool. And looking towards the future a little bit, you've got a match with 1 HP in the cards for tonight, and then later down the line, you've got playoff expectations where you're sure to face a lot of strong teams. Is there anyone that you want to face in this tournament, or is it kind of more like you're confident you can take anyone?
Well, we're confident we can take anyone. Obviously, there's like certain teams that like I don't have the best relationship with, or like I have some friends on those teams, and I obviously want to play them because I want to beat them.
Yeah.
But um, honestly, we're down to play anyone. I just want to like win. Obviously, that's all I care about. Every team, like I think anyone we play is gonna be probably like a great match. Hopefully we've like always put our best foot forward, but like I want to go 3-0 and I want to smoke through playoffs, but I don't know if we'll be able to do it. I don't know who we're gonna play, but I'm just like that's what I want to happen. As long as we make playoffs and then from there we just like turn up, like that's all that matters to me. Like I want us to put our best effort forward and win instead of like being like, oh, we could have played better. That's all I care about. I just want to be the best possible that we can be.
All right. And final question for this: is there anything you want to say to fans, opponents, future teammates, former teammates, any of that stuff?
I appreciate everyone I've always played with. Like, it's obviously made me into the player I am. But I'm looking forward to like us as a team. Everyone's kind of underestimating us, even though we're like expected to go either 3-0, 3-1. Like that's where most people have us at least. So I mean, I expect us to do like something like that, but I don't think anyone has us expecting to do good in playoffs. But I would keep your like just don't hate because we're gonna come for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did get egg in my face when I didn't talk about you guys making a good XGS run, and that obviously didn't pan out too well on me.
Yeah.
So, uh, take it from me. Don't hate on Karn&co too much. You'll regret it. Packer, thank you for your time. Best of luck going into your match tonight and the tournament as a whole. And hopefully we get another one of these after you won the event, eh?
Thank you.